Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, together with the Presidential Communications Office.
We bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IPC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Abiba Saripauda.
And I'm Joe Fernandez. We are from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is urging concerned government agencies and stakeholders to focus on strengthening the country's semiconductor and electronics industry. The Department of Agriculture, or DA, is eyeing to expand the scope and reach of its program on affordable rice, as the agency is now talking to supermarkets and convenience stores. Authorities discovered more about the alleged Chinese who was recently arrested, including fact that the suspect has been going out of the country since 2015. The Philippine National Police, or PNP, will respect the President's call to extend General Marbil's term if ever the Chief Executive indeed decides to do so. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, is now studying a transport group's petition to increase the minimum fare to 15 pesos. The President wants nothing more for the country than to see it flourish and ultimately provide better opportunities for Filipinos, but to put them in a better situation in life. Thus, the leader of the land urged government agencies and stakeholders to rally behind his administration's push to boost the semiconductor and electronics industry. PTV's Alan Francisco has the full report.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has tasked government agencies and stakeholders to focus on further strengthening the semiconductor and electronics industry in the country. During his first meeting with the Private Sector Advisory Council, Education, and Job Sector Group, the President emphasized the benefits these sectors bring in driving economic growth. President Marcos pointed out the need to promote this industry due to the huge revenues it can generate for the country, comparable to the income derived from exporting other products. He stressed it is time to prioritize this sector through collaboration with industries to identify ways to further strengthen the semiconductor industry. One of the President's goals is to provide incentives to semiconductor locators or companies operating in the semiconductor industry in specific locations or regions. For instance, the President noted that under the Create More Act, there are no specific benefits or incentives for the semiconductor industry, while other industries such as car manufacturing have been granted such. Hence, the Chief Executive has called on industry stakeholders to work together to formulate necessary measures and incentives in line with existing laws. During the meeting, the PSAC Education and Job Sector Group also presented the country's semiconductor and electronics roadmap to the President and recommended the creation of a National Education and Workforce Development Plan, or NAT Plan, which the President supports. The semiconductor industry refers to the manufacturing and development of semiconductors or materials used in the production of electronic devices such as cell phones, computers, and other gadgets that are essential to daily life. From PTV Manila, Alan Francisco, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, the Department of Agriculture, or DA, wants to widen the scope of its affordable rice program and has thought of a way to possibly achieve this goal. How? PTV's Clazel Padilla reveals in this report.
The Department of Agriculture is set to expand the availability of affordable rice sold in Kadiwa stores, select public markets, and train stations. This following discussions with major supermarket and convenience store owners. DA spokesperson Assistant Secretary Arnel Damesa disclosed,
pumayag sila na yung ating mga Kadiwa rice ay maibenta rin at same price doon sa maging available siya.
The implementation of the maximum suggested retail price has resulted in lower prices of imported rice in public markets. Based on the DA's price monitoring, imported rice now ranges from 38 to 60 pesos per kilo, down from the previous 40 to 65 pesos per kilo last week. Despite the downward trend in rice prices, the DA maintains that declaring a food security emergency remains necessary.
Kailangan pa rin kasi kailangan ma-release pa rin yung stocks ng NFA. Though downward trend siya, pero kagaya ng pag-ikot namin, meron pa rin talaga nakikita rin kami na matataas pa rin yung presyo.
The NFA is expected to release 300,000 to 700,000 sacks of non-regular or aged stock rice by February to ease storage space and make way for the purchase of newly harvested palay this harvest season. Meanwhile, the National Food Authority is warning the public against individuals posing as agency officials to deceive farmers and rice millers. The agency condemned these fraudulent activities and clarified it does not solicit donations or financial favors from stakeholders. From PTV Manila, Clazel Pardilla, Balitang Pambansa.
For other news, as authorities look more into the background of the Chinese national arrested for espionage, they learn more about the suspect's activities over the years that will hopefully help them piece together the motive behind his staying in the country or even whether he is under the employ of a particular nation. PTV's Ryan Lisiges has more.
According to the records obtained by the Bureau of Immigration, the Chinese national arrested on alleged espionage charges has been in and out of the Philippines since 2015. He is reportedly married to a Filipina. The BI shared the details they obtained with the National Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice. According to BI Commissioner Joel Anthony Viado, no deportation will be enforced against the arrested suspect until the appropriate penalties are handed down. They will also assist in identifying possible accomplices in the Philippines. The Armed Forces of the Philippines does not consider the arrest of the alleged Chinese spy an isolated case. They are investigating possible connections with other incidents related to national security.
It is part of a larger strategy na nag-challenge po tayo, nag-challenge po ang ating sovereignty and security. So therefore po sir, it is crucial po for us to view these actions as interconnected elements that is part of a broader plan.
The high-tech equipment confiscated from the arrested Chinese national is still under review. The suspect has also reportedly visited several EDCA sites and military facilities in Luzon, as well as power plants and NGCP substations last month.
Ito pong equipment niya, ginagamit po niya po na ma-map itong mga and ma-survey po ang ating mga critical infrastructures, mga strategic areas po. Kasama na po rito ang ating police and military camps and installations, yung mga ports po natin, ating mga pantalan. And ang dito, glaring din dito, Sir Mike, kasama po ang mga malls, which is mga matataong lugar.
Those behind the suspect's espionage activities are also being identified. From PTV Manila, Ryan Lisiges, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, is prioritizing the conduct of a probe on the discovery of an identified floating equipment. The AFP is urging the individual who posted about the discovery on social media to immediately coordinate with the nearest military or naval units to ensure proper handling of the item. It assures its commitment to ensure national security and urge the public to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities or discoveries to the proper authorities.
The new recruits of the Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG, should undergo a crash course on the newly enacted Philippine Maritime Zones Act. This is what Senate Majority Leader Francis Tolentino proposed. According to Tolentino, this goes beyond basic training and physical formations and offers a deeper understanding of current issues in the West Philippine Sea. The senator added that it will help them better understand the metes and bounds of our territorial sea, international waters, exclusive economic zone, and this in light of tensions we face in our neighbor with China.
The Philippine National Police, or PNP, says that it will respect President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s decision to possibly extend the term of General Romel Marbil as National Police Chief. Police Regional Office 3 or PRO3 Regional Director and PNP spokesperson, Police Brigadier General Gyne says that extension of the term of office of a PNP chief is no longer new and will depend on the situation, especially now that the midterm elections is near. For his part, General Marbil refused to comment on the possibility of a term extension, as he says that the PNP is now focused on imposing strict security measures for the upcoming polls.
For one, this will not be the first time that a sitting chief PNP will be extended. So this is not new to the PNP hierarchy and even sa mga mababa po nating mga ranggo po. And at the end of the day, it will always be the prerogative po ng ating presidente. But like I said earlier, whether the chief will be extended or not, what we can assure is the PNP is ready to face any security threats for this coming election.
Former director of the Bureau of Corrections, Gerald Bantag, is close to being arrested. This was stated by DILG Secretary John Vicremulla after several months of hiding by Bantag. The Philippine National Police, or PNP, has reportedly been searching various areas in the country to find him. According to PNP spokesperson and Police Regional Office 3 Regional Director Police Brigadier General Gyne, the PNP is checking several areas in the north where Bantag may be hiding. There is still no indication that Bantag has left the country, and based on the information from the Immigration Department. However, the PNP is not ruling out the possibility that Bantag might have used a back door to leave the country, especially since he is a former soldier and might be armed.
He is a former Marine soldier, graduate po siya ng academy. So definitely in terms of handling guns, ay talagang alam niya humawak ng baril. Pero sabi nga natin, hopefully kung nakikinig po siya ngayon, nakikinig yung kanyang mga kamag-anak, mahal sa buhay, mga malalapit sa kanya, hindi na po sana humantong sa ganun na magkakaroon pa ng sakitan or worse, may masasaktan pa doon sa magkabilang side po. And we are openly appealing to him to face the music, and anyway, bibigyan naman po siya ng pagkakataon ng korte para harapin po itong reklamong isinampa po sa kanya. That is part of due process.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. assured Filipinos the services of PhilHealth will not be reduced. Instead, the government will expand the PhilHealth services and increase payments for insurance claims in 2025. President Marcos Jr. guaranteed vulnerable sectors, including seniors, the poor, and the middle class, would not lose any benefits. He reassures the public PhilHealth services will improve moving forward.
At ito ang guarantee ko. Napakasimple lang ang guarantee ko. Kahit may subsidy, kahit walang subsidy, kahit anong contribution, all of these issues, hindi mababawasan ang serbisyo ng PhilHealth. Hindi mababawasan ang bayad ng PhilHealth sa insurance claim. In fact, baliktad. Padadamihin pa namin ang serbisyong ibibigay ng PhilHealth, palalakihin pa namin ang pagbayad sa insurance claims. So, I would like to just assure everybody, huwag niyong inaalala na mababawasan ang serbisyo kahit na kanino, para sa senior, para sa mga hirap, para sa middle class. Walang mababawasan kahit isang kusing. Quite the opposite. Dadagdagan natin yan in 2025, mas dadami pa ang magiging serbisyo na ibinibigay ng PhilHealth, mas lalaki pa ang magiging payment na ibibigay sa insurance claim. Kaya huwag po kayong mag-aalala, walang mawawala sa serbisyo ng PhilHealth. Mas pinapaganda pa nga namin ang pagpatakbo ng PhilHealth para mas marami pang maibibigay sa taong bayan.
Ito'y isang kwento ng pagpupursigi ng isang benepisyaryo na ngayoy bumunga ang kanyang pangarap.
Ako si Jumari Pialhas, apo ni Abilino Pasaylo. Taga Purok 1, San Isidro, Pitugo, Zamboanga del Sur.
Ayon kay Jo Marie, 20 taon rin ang paghihintay ng kanilang pamilya para mapasa kanila ang lupang kanilang sinasakahan.
Dabi yung pagpangga ni Lolo sa iyahang luna. Kay siyagyoy nagtanom og mga daghang lubi. Unsay gibuhat sa kong lolo, unsay nakita nako sa pag-atiman niya sa mga gitanom. Ingana mo po nako sa pag-atiman.
1 ektarya ng lupa ang kanilang natanggap noong ika-24 ng Mayo sa isang okasyon na pinangunahan mismo ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at ng Department of Agrarian Reform sa rehiyon ng Zamboanga. Mahigit 4,000 benepisyaryo ang nakatanggap ng kanilang mga titulo noong araw na ito. Ito ay sumasaklaw sa mahigit 7,000 ektarya. Para kay Jo Marie, kahit hindi man naabutan ng kanyang lolo na matanggap ng personal ang kanyang inaasam na titulo, masaya pa rin siya dahil naipamana pa rin ito sa kanyang pamilya. Pinapangako rin ni Jo Marie na sa pamamagitan ng lupang natanggap, mas palalaguin niya pa ang bunga ng mga itinanim ng kanyang lolo, mapagulay, prutas, pati na rin ang mga pangarap.
Salamat sa DAR, sa dugay-dugay na mong hinulat, maabot na gyud ang amuang titulo. O ilabi na ni President Bongbong Marcos, maraming salamat po.
The Office of Civil Defense, or OCD, expressed gratitude for the House Committee on Appropriations approval of the substitute bills for House Bills 99-35 and 10-233, which aims for the declaration of the State of Imminent Disaster Act. Undersecretary Ariel Nepomuceno says that the measure will pave the way for anticipatory action for local governments, which will boost their capacity in disaster preparedness. Included in this measure is the strengthening of disaster preparedness capacity of communities through additional local disaster risk reduction and management, or DRRM plans. The said measure will be sent to the Committee on Disaster Resilience for the final scrutiny before it reaches second reading.
In other news, many Chinese nationals are high-risk tourists and visitors who have suspicious backgrounds and are criminal character, which the country found out the hard way in dealing with the headache called pogyos. Not a problem, there's another market for trouble-free tourists who need to be tapped coming from the country with the largest human population. Tourism Secretary Cristina Franco has been in touch with India's foreign minister recently, seeking to open up the country to Indian tourists by way of an e-visa or open visa scheme for travelers and visitors. And working group teams have been formed, and business and trade missions are being sent and swapped to include private tourism stakeholders.
The DFA has initially launched this system, and we are hopeful that with the President's instructions na mas gawing efficient, professional, and globally competitive pa yung system na ito, ay gagawin po ito ng DFA and ng BI. As far as the Philippines is concerned, the status of the liberalization of our visas should be compared to our ASEAN neighbors. Visa to be liberalized. But in terms of priority, it's really India that we're looking at right now for visa liberalization.
Heads up commuters, some transport groups are asking to raise the jeepney fare by 15 pesos from 13 pesos. Passengers have different opinions on this. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, is considering factors like raising oil prices and inflation. LTFRB Chairperson Teofilo Guadis said they will ensure fairness for commuters if the fare increases is approved. The petition will undergo public hearings, and while the Liga ng Transportasyon at Operasyon sa Pilipinas, or LTOP, supports the fare hike, they also suggest ways to lower the charges.
Sana ho, isabatas na po yung gusto ng Pangulo na ipasa yung batas dun sa Kongreso, yung waste to energy. Dahil yung waste to energy sa 4 na basura natin sa Pilipinas, napakalaki po ang makukuha natin na fuel na energy. Nung panahon ng dating Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Sr., mayroon tayong OPSF na Oil Price Stabilization Fund na kinukulikta sa fuel para pagdating ho ng malapit na matapos ang taon, meron tayong idadawn doon sa oil refinery para mababa at supply natin 1 year.
The Technical Education Skills Development Authority, or TESA, inaugurated its first ever regional technical vocational education and training innovation center in Zamboanga Peninsula. Jocelyn Alvarez of the Philippine Information Agency Zamboanga Sibugay has the details.
The Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESA, has officially inaugurated its first ever Regional Technical Vocational Education and Training, or TVET, Innovation Center in the Zamboanga Peninsula region. Located at the Zamboanga-Sibugay Polytechnic Institute, this 40 million facility is set to play a key role in developing skilled workers for the region's growing industries. The grand unveiling of the state-of-the-art center was led by TESA Director General Secretary Jose Francisco Benitez, who emphasized the importance of technical education in securing jobs for the youth.
Obviously, the end point for TESA really should be employment. If you are able to address the aspirations of the people and be able to convey to them how well you address their aspirations, their hopes, then I think the success and the excellence will follow.
The Innovation Center focuses on advanced training in machining and computer numerical control. The facility is equipped with cutting-edge technology and modern infrastructure designed to meet the increasing demand for skilled professionals in local industries. With the launch of this innovation center, TESA aims to meet the growing needs of the region's labor market by providing advanced skills training to the youth. It is a clear testament to the agency's ongoing commitment to innovation and excellence in technical education. From Philippine Information Agency Zamboanga-Sibugay, Jocelyn Alvarez for Balitang Pambansa.
Palarong Pambansa this year is just around the corner. That is why the provincial government of Ilocos Norte is getting ready, as they expected to welcome about 1,000 delegations. Some facilities in the province are being renovated and improved, which will be used during the game. Philippine Information Agency Ilocos Norte, Emma Joyce Guillermo tells us more.
The provincial government of Ilocos Norte continues to prepare for the 2025 Palarong Pambansa, tentatively scheduled on April 24 to May 1. According to Governor Matthew Marcos Monotok, they are focusing on 3 aspects in their preparations: the athletes' well-being and safety, environment and financial sustainability, and developing digital projects.
So we want to make sure that unang-una, our athletes are taken care of at talagang komportable po sila. Pangalawa po, our theme is, of course, sustainable, no? Bilang renewable capital ng Pilipinas. We want our games to be eco-friendly. You know? And then pangatlo is leveraging technology. You know? So we want to make an app where everyone can find information.
This year's games is expected to welcome about 15,000 delegation, including athletes, coaches, and officials of the Department of Education. Monotok added that some of the facilities in the province are being renovated and improved, like the Marcos Stadium and the Centennial Arena, which will be used during the Palarong Pambansa. He added that they are working on getting more flights coming in Ilocos Norte in anticipation of the increase in visitors and tourists coming in to watch the games. Meanwhile, Gyne Sports Coordinator of the DepEd Schools Division of Ilocos Norte, assured that the department is in close coordination with the provincial government in preparation, especially in ensuring that the game venues and accommodations are in order. From PIA Ilocos Norte, Emma Guillermo, Balitang Pambansa.
And for our weather, shear line is affecting the eastern section of southern Luzon, while northeast monsoon will have an effect in the rest of Luzon. Based on Pagasa's latest weather forecast, shear line will bring cloudy skies with scattered rains and isolated thunderstorms in Bicol region, northern Samar and eastern Samar. Cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms will be felt in Dinagat Islands, Surigao del Norte, and Surigao del Sur. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms will fall in Palawan and the rest of Visayas and Mindanao, brought by easterlies. Meanwhile, Cagayan Valley, Aurora, and Quezon will have cloudy skies with light rains, and Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains due to the northeast monsoon.
And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation on a midweek Wednesday.
Yes.
From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Habiba Saripauda, and this is
Balitang Pambansa.